Hi everyone, today I wanted to talk to you about PTE versus IELTS. It's a hot topic amongst candidates from overseas looking to sit the English test and work out which test is easier or more suited to your style. Until recently there was a clear-cut differentiation between PTE and IELTS, PTE being fully computer-based and IELTS being something that you sat in front of people for. Under the new systems, that's no longer the case. PTE is no longer fully computer-based. So while you might speak into a microphone and type answers, 7 out of the 22 questions also have human interaction, all right, or intervention in looking at the answers. So importantly, accent or fluency is not judged by humans. This is done using AI. So the tests are anonymized and distributed at the response level to the markers. So where the human score varies with the AI, then a second human will decide what the score should be for that particular question. Pre-used templates will result in a score of 0, so be very careful about using answer templates from various dodgy providers. Try to do your own work. For a longer version of what I'm saying today, there's an excellent podcast put out by Jared, who's the program manager at PTE, and we'll put the link below so that you can follow that up and see exactly what Jared is saying from PTE. It's a very good description. But importantly, PTE is no longer fully computer-based, all right? So that differentiation between IELTS and PTE is not so significant anymore, with 7 out of the 22 questions having some form of human intervention in the marking process. Now, there's also double marking. So there's some more, 2 more questions in the speaking component. They relate to a summarized group discussion and a respond to a situation. And then you've got double marking in the describe image, retail lecture, and 3 writing elements, which are the summarized written text, write essay, where they're looking for originality and content. So whatever you do, don't use ChatGPT, all right? They are looking for originality and content, and they are scanning specifically for people trying to cheat using ChatGPT. And then there's a double marking component for the summarized spoken text element of the writing component. If we look at IELTS, that generally requires a face-to-face speaking test with an examiner, which some candidates find, the computer side of it less stressful or less biased. But as I said to you, PTE, the accent or fluency, is not judged by humans. Right, so that's something to be aware of. PTE results have always been quicker, typically available in 1 to 2 business days. IELTS typically takes 5 to 7 days for computer-based elements and up to 13 days for paper-based. So people needing urgent results because your visa's about to run out will often prefer PTE. Now, many people believe that PTE scoring is more predictable and generous for certain skills, especially the speaking and writing elements, because it was AI marked. But remember, as I said, this has changed, and what's also happened is the scoring has been recently adjusted to bring all of the other testing systems in line with the marking level of hardness, if you like, for IELTS. PTE is also, typically assumed to be easier to book into, so sometimes people prefer that. But again, it depends on where you're at. Both PTE Academic and IELTS Academic are accepted in Australia, New Zealand and Canada for study work, and the UK and many universities. So since the Department of Home Affairs accepts PTE for visas, many migrants here choose to use PTE. Now, what's happened is they've changed the rules as of 7th of August 2025. There's been no change to IELTS. What they've done is they've adjusted everybody else back to a standard based on the IELTS. That's my reading of it. For example, Superior, they've changed it completely. So Superior, 8 in each band is the setting for IELTS. Used to be 79 in PTE. Now they've made it much easier for listening. It's down to 69 from 79, so a big drop there. Reading has gone from 79 to 70. So listening and reading have been made easier, but what the cost has come is that writing is now 85, up from 79, and speaking is 88, up from 79. So a significant jump in writing and speaking requirement to get superior English. I will put a table in the links or in the comments below this video, setting out the various requirements for the other tests. There's Cambridge. There's also 2 new tests that I haven't seen before. One is the Michigan English Test, MET, and then we've had the standard OET one, which was typically for nurses. And then there's a new one called Language Cert Academic Test. That test has a work from home component and a test centre option. Only the test centre option is available to people in Australia. All right, they don't want you working from home and doing something dodgy. All right, so in summary, if you need to sit PTE, just be aware that there is now two new questions. I think you're given a bit more time to do the exam, but there are 2 more questions in the speaking section: summarise group discussion, respond to a situation, and all of the other English exams other than IELTS are now adjusted according to the table below. All right, thanks guys. I'll talk to you soon.